Hello, and welcome to the Empowerography Podcast. This is a platform created for women's voices to be heard and a place to share their stories, journeys, and successes with the world for the purpose of helping other women who might be on similar journeys. We are empowering women one episode at a time. I'm your host, Brad Walsh, so kick back, grab one of your favorite beverages, and enjoy the stories. Hello, everyone. This is Brad Walsh here, host of the Empowerography Podcast. Today, my guest is Becky Senecal. She is the owner of Pink Porcupine, based in Brooks, Alberta. How are you doing today, Becky?
I'm doing really good, Brad. Thanks for having me today on your show.
Awesome to have you here. How's your day going so far?
Oh, it's pretty good. It's pretty slow this morning. It's 11:30 a.m. where I'm at, so we haven't done too much yet.
The day's just getting revved up, is it?
Yes.
So let's jump right in here. You're a junior high phys ed teacher, a clothing boutique owner, a mom. You have a lot going on. How long have you been teaching for? And you're still teaching, correct?
Well, I'm currently on maternity leave.
Okay.
My littlest is 3 months old. So
oh, wow.
I've been, I would say, lucky to be home right now. Kind of with my 3 boys, but also working my boutique still. So that's kind of where we're at. I've been teaching since 2007.
Okay.
So 13 years minus my maternity leaves.
Right.
Yeah. So it's been great.
Do you still enjoy teaching?
I love teaching. That's kind of why I can't give it up yet. Although I do own my boutique, I just still love teaching. I love the kids, especially the junior high age. They seem to be at a funny stage where they're trying to navigate their lives.
Awkward stage, right?
Yeah, it's often comical.
Yeah.
But they have a lot of energy and a lot of love to give, and it's really fun to be able to influence them. And
is phys ed the only subject you teach?
I am primarily a phys ed teacher. Okay. I did take a couple years off to teach grade 7 math and science, but phys ed has always been my number one love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. I guess are you itching to get back to teaching?
I wouldn't say I'm itching yet, just with everything going on. I kind of feel grateful that I get to be home and not have to have another job right now, but I will be excited to get back into the gym once everything blows over, I guess.
Hopefully sooner rather than later.
Absolutely.
Now, you're the founder and owner of this clothing boutique, the Pink Porcupine. I'm dying to know, how did you come up with the name? Where did that come from?
Well, I would love to have this profound story for you, but honestly, I don't really have one, but it made you ask the question, didn't it?
Yes, it did. Absolutely. Which is good because it gets people talking, right?
Right. It is. I just thought it was a memorable name. I do love pink. I've always loved pink. And I liked the alliteration of the pink porcupine, and it was kind of catchy. So that's kind of the story, and it's not super exciting, but yeah, for sure.
Simple and to the point. Hey, it works. It got me wondering where the name came from. So if that gets your clients asking the question, and then of course you can further the conversation from that question, then there you go. You're all set. You've already kind of baited the hook for them with the name, right?
Yeah. And I am from northern Saskatchewan, so I felt like porcupine is kind of native to that area, and as well as the area where I live now. So it just makes sense.
It works.
Yeah.
So don't you find it tough juggling all 3 jobs? I mean, of course, being a mother is probably the biggest job, but how do you find the balance and the time for you out of all of that with the salon, with the boutique, with teaching and being a mom? How do you find the time for you?
Well, that is the $1 million question. And as far as balance, I don't know if there is such a thing. If you have the answer to that, I would like to read your book. But I think it's all about prioritizing and kind of knowing when to do what at what time. I've always just been super busy. Growing up, I was into lots of activities and sports, and was kind of, my personality worked well with going and going and going. And I get bored quite easily.
Right.
So if I have a day off, I tend to always try something to kind of, pass the time.
Right.
So, yeah.
Well, hey, it works, right? I mean, prioritize is key. So
yeah, and I'm definitely a big list person. So
yes, me too. I love making lists and being able to check things off. That's awesome. It's a great feeling when you can check items off your list as complete.
Absolutely, yeah. Very satisfying.
It is. So you had mentioned you're born in Saskatchewan, raised here in Canada. You moved to Colorado for a scholarship playing volleyball. What happened with all that, and what brought you back to Canada?
Well, I think that growing up, I was always very athletic, and that kind of made me foster my competitiveness. And then I was lucky enough to be scouted, actually. When I was in high school, we were playing provincials, and there were some scouts that came and watched me play, and they offered me a scholarship. I was also lucky enough to be a member of the junior national volleyball team when I was in grade 11.
Okay.
So that's kind of another way I got my name out. But then I accepted the offer and I moved to Colorado, not knowing anyone, but knowing it was a huge opportunity for me, especially to get your education paid for on a full ride.
Yeah.
But it was just an unbelievable experience. The sports world in the United States is just something that you can't even explain to people that haven't experienced it. But it was awesome. And we played really high level. We made it to the Sweet 16 a couple years. And I've just have so many awesome memories from that experience. Then after, so after when I graduated, I came back just to be, I love Canada. I love my experience in the States, but we are very lucky to live in Canada. My parents also are still in Canada, so I wanted to come back and be closer to them.
Yeah.
And then, so when I came back, they wouldn't take my degree as a teacher straight across. So I had to go back to school for another year and get a couple classes. But then after that, I moved to Brooks for my first teaching job.
Okay. They wouldn't take so the degree you achieved in the U.S. that wasn't valid here, you had to add to that?
Yeah, they wouldn't just accept my degree as it was.
Wow.
I think I had to do a couple more classes, and you know what the classes were? I took a basketball class and gymnastics class, and I think 2 or 3 more education classes. So that's what got me to be able to teach in Canada.
Oh, okay.
Which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, no kidding. I would have thought that your degree would have been fine across the board from U.S. to Canada. I would have thought.
It didn't work out that way. And I think I was lucky because I only had to go back to school for a year. I've heard of other people having to go back for longer than just a year.
Huh.
Yeah.
So when did you first fall in love with fashion? How old were you?
Well, I can't really think of a specific time, but I think that when I hit junior high, that's kind of where I started experimenting with different looks. Fashion wasn't a super huge thing in my family. It wasn't we're going to go shopping and get you the top brand names, or I remember my cousin buying that was when the Guess jeans were super popular.
Right.
They came in all the colors and you had to get all the colors. That kind of wasn't my experience. My experience was going thrifting and finding super unique clothing. I was really into vintage t-shirts.
Okay. Yeah.
And I would just kind of put really different looks together. I remember going into my dad's closet and finding his wool pants that he wore on his wedding.
Yeah.
And putting that on to create a look. So it wasn't really a specific time, but I kind of just tried different ideas with what I had to create something. And I always didn't like to, my personality likes to be big and I like to stick out. So that kind of worked with what I was going for. And then when I moved to the States, like the States had a lot of boutiques back then where I got to shop. And I remember always going into these boutiques and thinking, having a feeling of like, wow, like this is totally me. Like it's a little bit unique. It's a little bit funky.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to find something that I can rock. So that's kind of where my love for the boutique world came from.
Okay. Was
in the United States when I moved there.
Awesome. So what made you decide to open up a clothing boutique?
Well, I was on maternity leave with my first child. And like I said before, I don't like to be bored. So he was a beautiful angel baby and he let me kind of start thinking about what can I do in my free time. Mm-hmm. And I found it hard to travel, to go shopping when I had a little one. I am from a smaller town and we do have some retailers, but to really go shop, you would have to travel the 2 hours. And that just wasn't something that I was able to do, having a 2-month-old or a 3-month-old.
Yeah.
And I would just order online. And I was always ordering from boutiques from the United States. And I don't know if you've experienced this, but a lot of my customers have experienced getting a package at the door and having to pay duty. You're not sure how much you're going to pay, but they knock on your door and they're like, and you owe another $28.99.
Yep, I've experienced that.
Yeah, and that's kind of frustrating because in the end it costs you a whole heck of a lot more. Yeah. So I decided that I would kind of try my hand at starting a boutique to take out the surprise duty at the door. Okay. And I thought it would just be a fun thing for me to do, honestly. Like, I have some time on my hands. I'm going to open up this boutique and it's going to be fun. I'm going to get some free clothes. And honestly, that's how I felt. Wow. Until it kind of blew up and people were really responding well to it. And here we are.
That's awesome. So your business is strictly online then, correct?
We are online, but we do have a little storefront warehouse that has limited hours of 3 days a week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it works really well for me and my employees who are also all moms. So kind of flexible that way.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah.
How long has the Pink Porcupine been in business now?
We've been in business for 5.5 years.
5.5 years, all starting from, this might be fun to do.
Yeah, all starting from my house.
That's hilarious.
Literally like 9 styles.
Wow.
And now we have like 1,000 styles.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's kind of a good story.
It's grown exponentially in a short period of time. I mean, 5 years, they say, is the mark. If you can make it past 5 years, then you're good. We celebrated our 5-year anniversary in February, or at the end of January we did. And they say 5 years is kind of the time where most businesses have either found success or have closed down. So we're pretty pumped about that. Well, congratulations. That's awesome. Now, where would you say is most of your customer base based geographically?
We do a lot of business in Western Canada, so BC, Alberta, Saskatchewan, but we have shipped from Northwest Territories down to Arkansas, to the Maritimes, to Vancouver Island. So all of pretty much Canada and the U.S., but primarily Western Canada.
Very cool. Now, how would you label the type of fashion / clothes you sell at the Pink Porcupine? If you could give it a label, what would that label say? What would it be?
Well, I like to use the tagline, easy to wear with a touch of flair. It's something that a lot of our customers are moms. So we like to find items that are easy to put together, but something that's a little bit different that will make you stand out a touch.
Yeah.
And I think that because that's kind of where I am at my stage in my life, I need something that you don't have to really think about, you're comfortable wearing, but you also like something that's going to set you apart and not everyone's going to have.
Yes, different is good.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what excites you about being an entrepreneur? What is it that pumps you up about it?
Well, everything. But I like that there's no manual. Like, there's not like, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this to find success. I like the fact that what you put in it, you usually get out of it.
Right.
So if you work those extra hours and you're really pushing your business, hopefully you're going to find some sort of success. And it's competitive and challenging for sure. Mm-hmm. You're always trying to find ways to promote it, find different fun, unique and creative ways of standing apart from the rest of the people around you.
Yeah.
So.
Awesome. Now, what are some of the challenges you faced early on with the business and how'd you overcome them?
I think just getting your name out, just like any startup business, it's like promoting your brand, kind of finding out who your customer base is, a little trial and error. And I think it's the grind.
Yeah.
Like for me, you're not going to go in, making a lot of sales at the start. You need to like be happy with, I remember when I was excited about 1 or 2 sales a week.
Yeah.
And now if I don't get a sale a day, like would be weird for me.
You get used to a certain,
you have to be patient, I think. Like, you have to be patient. You need to grow your business slowly, which I think we've done a really good job with. But yeah, and it's just grinding it out. Like when it's a startup business, it was just me. Like, who is responsible for marketing? It was me. Who is responsible for packaging and shipping? It was me. It's just a one woman show. And luckily, thankfully, I now have a group of women that I can call on to help me. And it's just made my business that much better.
That's amazing. You got to be willing to put in the work. It takes work to build a business. And I think a lot of people look at entrepreneurship as this dreamy, amazing thing. And I can set my own hours and I don't have to work when I don't feel like working. And in the beginning, you have to work lots of hours. You have to put in the time and the work.
I always say, good thing I'm not getting paid by the hour, because it wouldn't be worth it. But it's so worth it because I am so passionate about it. I love every aspect of it.
That makes it a lot easier too. When you're passionate about what you're doing, when you absolutely love what you're doing as an entrepreneur, that makes it so much easier. And it makes it so much, not easier, but it makes it
not a job. A job. It's not work. It's like, I get excited about every little thing about it. So it doesn't feel like time wasted.
Yeah, exactly. If you could go back, would you change anything about how you did things when you started out?
I don't think I would change much about it. Like I said before, we grew slowly. We didn't jump into a warehouse right away. Like, I was stuffing my inventory in my little office, and you couldn't even walk in here. And then we would move to another spot where it wasn't ideal, but now it's we're in a spot where it's close to being ideal. It's working well for us. I think that recognizing the success maybe earlier and knowing that we had something that was, could go somewhere quicker and kind of push it earlier, if that makes sense. Like I said before, we started off as a hobby, and then it's like, oh yeah, we're making sales, but really looking at the numbers maybe at the start and knowing the success we were having.
Right. Now, do you source your product from multiple places and put together your outfits yourself, come up with the ideas for what goes with what and what you're selling as an outfit. Is that how you do things?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So in the boutique world, we kind of have many different manufacturers.
Right.
And most of our manufacturers are located in the Los Angeles Fashion District.
Okay.
So we take trips down there to pick out our clothing, and they're all curated through me. Kind of what I think I would like, or what I think my customers would like, I would bring it in, and then we style them on our models and we market them that way.
Okay. Very cool. To date, what would you say is your biggest high or your greatest win?
As far as business, I think that in 2017, we won both the online boutique of the year through a company called the Boutique Hub.
Okay.
And we also won Startup Business of the Year in our community. So our community was recognizing us, as well as the women of our customers were also recognizing us as well. So that was pretty awesome.
No kidding. That's a nice feather in your cap.
Absolutely.
What sound or noise do you love? Let's go down a not so serious path, not business path. Let's just veer off path for a minute.
Well, this was one of the easier ones for me to answer, but I think currently my favorite sound is my baby's giggles.
Okay.
There's nothing better than listening to him giggle.
Yeah. What would you say is one of your favorite words?
I think mom.
Mom.
Just being a mom is super important to me, and having my 3 boys and having the opportunity to be a mom. We struggled a little bit getting pregnant initially. Okay. So I'm just really grateful to be a mom.
Yeah. What would you say is your favorite curse word?
Definitely fuck.
That was easy. I'd say that was the easiest one.
Yeah. No. And we have already had to have the conversation with our boys about what's an adult word and what's a kid word.
Yeah.
And then we have to have another conversation about, well, if kids shouldn't do it, so shouldn't adults. And I said, so then you have to realize that your kid's smarter than you. And...
Well, there are certain words that kids shouldn't say, and they're okay for adults. So once you get to the adult stage, it's okay if you say these words, but now, not so much.
I know.
If you could have one superpower, what would that be?
Well, I think it's not going to be the normal superpowers, but I think reincarnation.
All right.
And the reason I said that was because I just love life.
Yeah.
And I just love living it. And although I will be content on the day I pass, I would just like to do it again.
And what would you like to come back as?
Anything. I don't have a preference. Just anything to be able to, come back.
An animal, a human?
I would be okay with anything.
Okay. If you could sit down for a 1-hour conversation with anyone in the world, alive or dead, who would it be and why?
Well, I think I would sit down with a man named Gary Vaynerchuk. I don't know if you're familiar with him.
Yeah.
Although I might feel a little intimidated. I think he has a lot of great content for business.
For sure. He's brilliant. He's a brilliant mind.
He is. And he's super motivating. And he just tells it how it is. So I really appreciate that.
He does. He's so passionate about, you can hear it when he speaks. He's so passionate about everything he talks about, and about business and about helping people. And he's just incredible to just listen to.
Absolutely. And I just love his stance on you don't have to be making millions of dollars to feel successful or happy. I mean, you can be making hundreds of dollars and still feel successful. And I really like that stance that he has.
Yeah, I heard him. He was doing an interview with a university student actually recently that I heard. And the university student was telling him how he wanted to be a basketball coach. And he was telling his experience to Gary, saying that one of his profs said, well, why would you want to be a basketball coach? They don't make that much money. And Gary says, who the hell cares? Basically he's saying, I'm paraphrasing, I'm not, he said, who the hell cares about money? If it's doing something you absolutely love doing, who gives a shit how much you make? You can make $40,000 a year. Who cares? You're doing something you love to do.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think that for me, it's like, I can totally relate to that, because my boutique, if you would have told me I would be in business right now when I was growing up, I would say you're crazy.
Yeah.
And I found this, and it's like, I just like dream about it. I wake up thinking about it. I just want to put every ounce of my energy into it, and I love it. And it doesn't matter if I'm putting the hard hours into it and I'm, maybe I'm not growing as fast as I want to be. I just really enjoy it. So why not do it?
Yeah, absolutely. I just love his no bullshit approach.
Yeah.
It's great. What is a passion of yours that you rarely share with people, and why not?
Well, so I'd like to consider myself an oversharer.
Okay.
So if I'm passionate about something, you're probably going to know about it.
Okay.
So
fair enough.
I am passionate about, obviously, my family and my business, and, empowering kids at school to know that they can do anything. Like, the sky is the limit, and they shouldn't set limitations for themselves. I often, in class, get on tangents where I'm like, you guys, like, the world is yours. You just have to believe in yourself and, like, go for it. Find something that you really love and just do it.
But that's good, though. Kids need to hear that from a young age and get that kind of ingrained into their thinking and ingrained into their DNA. It's very important that kids know that they can accomplish anything if they put in the work and set their mind to it.
Yeah. And I think growing up, like, when I was into sports, I had all these coaches that were always so awesome, giving me that I want to give that to the young people that I, come in contact with at my school.
I love that you're willing to do that and that you do that with your students. I think it's incredible. I think we need more of that in schools, because I don't think with our current education system that we get enough of that.
For sure. And I've actually been lucky. In our school, we've had kind of blocks where we could choose what we wanted to teach.
Oh, wow.
I've actually had the experience. I've come up with a class that I called empowerment, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But it was a women's class, or a class for girls that, where we would, go through what girls have to go through in their life to kind of navigate the world. And that was really fun. And then I also did an entrepreneurship class where I kind of gave what I've learned through my life or through the last 5 years to be able to kind of foster that with the kids. And from that, I've actually had a startup business for one of my students called 1M Meal. Yeah. And they create clothing, kind of hoodies that give back to people in Africa as well as Alberta. And for every clothing item, they give a meal to those two organizations, which is really
awesome. Love that. And one of your students came up with that?
Yeah, one of the students came up with that in my class.
Amazing.
I think it's been 3 years or so.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
How old was this kid?
He was actually in grade 7 when he did it.
Look at that. That's what we need. We need more brilliant minds like that.
Yeah, and they actually say that most, not most, but a lot of like inventions or entrepreneurial ideas come from students under the age of 18. So if we're not fostering that, I don't think we're doing our job.
I love that. I love that you're doing what you're doing, and I hope you continue to do it. I think it's incredible.
Thanks.
You should be very proud.
Yeah, it's super fun.
Speaking of empowerment, what does that word mean to you? What does the word empowerment mean to you as a woman, as a person?
Well, I think being confident and knowing that you can take risks and to not really care what other people are going to say about it. Okay. Yeah, just being able to take risks.
Can you share a situation that's occurred in your life that you feel provides insight as to who you are, insights to your character?
I don't know if it's a situation. I think that because I own a business and I also am a teacher and a mom, that sometimes I feel mom guilt. And the point where I felt, or the point where I just kind of let that go and was easy on myself to say that it's okay that I'm doing all these things and my kids are going to be okay. They know they're loved and they're going to learn from me in different ways.
Right.
Than maybe somebody that doesn't run 2 jobs.
Right.
And that's okay.
Okay. Now, speaking again of business, what is your biggest pain point that you've been dealing with lately in your business?
I think running the business and being a mom 100% of the time. So having my boys at home and then trying to find time to go do packaging or we do community deliveries.
Right.
So just trying to figure out how I'm going to do all the things, but also have my boys with me all the time.
Yeah.
That's been kind of hard, but I do have a supportive husband that helps me out, which I think is
key. Having a strong support system in place is absolutely key, especially as entrepreneurs, right?
For sure. And I think that, whether or not you're an entrepreneur or not, when we're navigating this crazy situation, you have to be gentle with each other and,
absolutely,
give and take for sure, especially when you have young kids as well.
For sure. What would you say is the best advice you've ever received?
I don't know if it's the best. I've received a lot of advice in my life. But
what is a piece that sticks out for you?
Well, I know one thing that I have heard that I always tell the young people around me, and that is, as soon as you can get over the fear of worrying about what others may think about you, the happier you will be.
I like that. It's simple to the point and it makes sense. It's true though. There's so much truth in that statement.
Like, we're always worried about like how other people are going to judge, or what are they going to think about. And one of them is, what are people going to think about me having a 3rd child, already busy running a business? Like, what are people going to think about that? But it's okay. It works for me. If it works for you, do it. Give her.
Yeah, for sure. Now, speaking of advice, if you could go back and give your younger self one piece of advice, what would that be?
I think to pay closer attention to relationship building.
Okay.
So the people around you, and I can especially think of in my 20s where maybe I was a little bit too caught up with focusing on myself and what was best for myself. I didn't really slow down and realize that I could build relationships that will help me and I could learn from.
Okay. And lastly, how would you define success? What does that word mean to you when you hear the word success? What does that mean?
100% happiness. If you're happy doing what you're doing, you have found success.
All right. It's plain, simple, right to the point. Yet again, I love it. Well, thank you, Becky, so much for being a guest on the podcast. It was absolutely wonderful chatting with you. Thank you for sharing your business and what you do with us and giving us a little bit of insight as to who you are and how the business started. It was an absolute pleasure chatting with you.
I really appreciate it. It was fun. Thanks, Brad, for having me.
No problem. Once again, my name is Brad Walsh, host of your Empowerography Podcast. My guest today was Becky Senecal. She is the owner and founder of Pink Porcupine, based in Brooks, Alberta. Thanks, Becky. Have a wonderful day.
You too. Thanks.
Thank you very much for listening to this podcast. If you haven't yet, please be sure to subscribe, rate, review, and share with all your friends. You can find me at viseuphoria.ca and follow me on Instagram at Empowerography Podcast and on Facebook at Empowerography. Please join me next time for another inspirational story from yet another amazing woman.